The realest, Fire Boss, the new legal, Di-RRec Gaming, Chit Chat community, all the real gamers across the world. Thanks for all the support that y'all been showing continually, day in and day out, every time we come up on here to have a good time talking about gaming. This is what we love to do. And without you guys making that possible, being in the audience, hyping us up, getting the energy going, all that positive energy, it just isn't that fun, y'all. The reason why some of us even still working like the realists still come out here to do this is because you guys make it worth it. As y'all already know, that Di-RRec Gaming is going to always remain the same. It isn't going to change up. You know, as an Xbox gamer, this channel is going to be a green emerald gem. You don't have to worry about switching it up. Also, not just an emerald gem, GEM, but an Xbox gem, GYM. We get on this court, we get that crowd going in the stands, and we perform. I keep golden mics for my Xbox comrades, everybody that's been a part of Di-RRec Gaming. I keep golden mics. I have infinite golden emerald mics because we take into consideration the integrity of gaming. We enjoy the culture of gaming here. We don't see it no other way. We're just glad to be here. We don't take life for granted. We don't take a second to just use it foolishly. We're nothing, but we're everything as a community. So Di-RRec Gaming isn't this just solo act. It came here to represent the crowd. Di-RRec Gaming didn't come here to make itself look better than the crowd. Di-RRec Gaming came here to be of the crowd, to show it is the crowd. Di-RRec Gaming is the Xbox Street channel. The Xbox community made Di-RRec Gaming what it is. That's facts. So upon that, we're going to continue to give you what you need. To everybody in the Chit Chat community that came out tonight to support us, we are eternally grateful. We cannot stop saying that. And please, if you're new to the channel and you like what we're about, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you to allow us to continually grow, do what we love to do. Hit that notification bell. Do not miss any of our shows. Keep yourself in tune because we are the breaking news channel. Anytime the news comes out, it's breaking, man, we get together. We form up. We have a meeting. Hey, we want to come out here and echo the streets the best way we know how. We take pride in that. And with that, this show is going to be unlike no other show. We're going to keep the hype going. It's nothing different. Y'all know how we're going to do it. First, after I say hello to the mighty Chit Chat community, I'm going to say hello to all the gamers around in the world, to all the gamers around in the world, all the real gamers. To my man, the realest one, who is really working tonight, who came to drop by. Thank you, sir, because you are still working, man. Be careful. Enjoy the show. How you feeling tonight, man?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great, man. What it do?
Man, it's beautiful. My man from H-Town, another Texas native like me, representing. I'm the North, he's the South. I got my man, boss of all bosses. He comes out of the dungeons of the bosses with my man After Boss up in Canada. It's the Boss Dungeon Room. This is Fire Boss in the building. How you doing, Fire Boss?
Well, when you talk about his bosses, you know how you got like the fist of the North Star and you got the fist of the South Star and all that stuff like that. So he's up north and I'm down here with you cats, in the deep dirty South,
That's it, man. It's South Carolina,
to,
man. You in the thick
tobacco
woods,
coun-
brother.
tobacco
That's right.
country.
That's it, that country. Yo, good box. I really, really appreciate that, man. Good box in the building. Good box. Thank you for all the support that you do, man. Everybody out here. So now, before we start the show, gotta get the chit chat shout outs. All right, early. We got 9 foot in the building. Sonic Echo X always in the building. I got Good Box in the building. I got Joel in the building. To everybody that's gonna be here now, shout outs to you, and everybody that's coming later, shout outs to you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, step brothers and sisters, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth cousins, your uncles, your aunties, your grandma, your grandpa, your great grandma, great grandpa, and their grandchildren, their great grandchildren. You know what? Forget all of that. Bring your whole family reunion up in here because it's about to go down. And because it's about to go down, we don't care where you from. You can be from the backwoods. Of course, you can be down in the inner cities, the suburbs. Yo, you can be up in the mountains. You can be from the islands. You can be from the volcanoes. You can be from the sky, sitting up on a cloud, chilling right now. You can be on a whole other planet. You can be from whatever city you rep, to whatever continent you rep, to whatever flag you throw up in this world. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to come out here on Di-RRec Gaming. And for that, we power up. We gonna bring it tonight. We here, people. The streets is here. I go by the name of the new legal. It's been a beautiful journey to be with my Xbox community comrades for the 20th year, the 20th time. And we got from now all the way to next November to celebrate. You guys are out here looking beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all couldn't be looking more beautiful. I got my man Cyber Gunter 81 in the building. He's doing his thing. It's all good. And y'all, we about to get it started. I got some questions. Y'all. And before you guys answer my questions, I got these two golden mics. One's going to the realest one, one's going to Fireboss. All I'm going to say is this. We can start from however you want. You want to start from the back end of the title to the front end of the title. I don't care, but I got one question. Why did they think we was lying when I said Sony is going to milk them slow, right? They don't want to act fast and cause a hysteria, cause all these nervous breakdowns, cause all these scary fairies to activate. They don't want to do that. It's like my man Sonic Echo said. Sony's just cooking them frogs. You don't put frogs in a hot, boiling pot first, or they'll jump right on out. You got to put that cold water in that pot and turn it up and let the frogs sit in there, and they don't know how to jump out that pot. And you just close the lid, and that's it. Sony is slow cooking their base. I've never, ever felt the need to lie. There's no reason to lie. We told y'all that Sony follows the big bank. I created Big Bank Takes Little Bank. Donkey community. You want to kick back? We throw the carrots down. You want to kick back? We throw the hay bales down. You can kick back all you want. It's more power for you. Hey, listen, we ain't here to fight that. We ain't here to fight your kickback. But your temper tantrums, your trolling, you calling Xbox names, all that doesn't matter. The new legal is going to tell you, get it on out your system. Do whatever you got to do to release your stress. Because at the end of the day, you got to get into that arc because it's about to rain soon. And you know what it's going to rain? A whole bunch of X's. I told you so. You thought I
X's
was
and
playing.
L's.
You thought I was playing, but I told you so. So everything in gaming now is connected to Xbox. So I say, look at here. Everything is connecting now. Microsoft has that cloud. So now we're not telling you to join us. You don't have to like Xbox. It's never been the case. You ain't got to like Xbox. You ain't got to respect Xbox. But have you ever heard that saying? We'll work around you. That's exactly what Xbox is doing. Sit right there. Because guess what? There's a bigger audience than you. And we're just going to work right around you. The one thing about the PlayStation community, and it's not
Drink
all
your
of them.
milkshake.
That's right. It's not all of them. There's some great
I
PlayStation
said,
games out there in the world. We know this because we don't stereotype. So to all the great PlayStation fans out there, we're not talking about y'all. There's this little small community that doesn't really have a life, that play on Twitter more than they play on their consoles. They don't really have the games. They don't really do any of that stuff, right? They just like to type. They're good. They're good. They can text, though. I will give them that. They got blisters on their fingers right now. They're great when it comes to texting. Talking about them. They are going to learn more this generation than they ever learned in gaming. So sit back, buckle up, realists, fireballs. I got that question out there. Why did they think that Sony would have never, ever followed the Big Bang Theory? Well, Bloomberg just made that report. So it's official. It's going to happen. Here's the mic, y'all. I just had one question.
Shoot, it's a man. You saw. It's funny because I saw one dude make a tweet. Early, it was like real early this morning about, oh, look who just joined the Microsoft family, and he labels in all the ones who's been given Microsoft praise, such as like IGN, Destin Legary, and Bloomberg. Talking about Microsoft acquired Bloomberg, and I'm like,
basically
you
the
gotta be
industry.
kidding me. Yeah, I'm like, so, and I kind of just didn't give it any thought. I just moved along, and then I saw the tweet. I'm giving credit where credit's due because I'm sure there may have been other people before him, but I saw his first. Nibble on Twitter saying that yeah, Sony is getting ready to is looking into dropping their own more or less Game Pass like service, codename Spartacus. And I got to scratching my head, and I'm like, I had the little orangutan moment, like scratching my head, trying to figure out how to peel a banana. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, is this why that dude? Is that why this angry dude made that tweet? And so I read more on it, and the more I read on, I'm like, it's funny. Didn't they just didn't they just say Game Pass isn't sustainable? Didn't they just say that they wasn't going to do anything like Game Pass? And on that camp side, didn't their fans say that, oh, PS what was it, PS Plus or PS Now, that they always kept saying was Game Pass's rival? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so what? So which one is it? Is it that services are not sustainable and we don't see the point of following this model, or we already had something like Game Pass? I mean, which one is it? I'm real baffled here. But either way, as we were speaking about it earlier. Remember, Legal and Realist? I was saying that the thing about it is, okay, they may do a little bit of cloud gaming. They've done it before. I don't know what the quality of it's going to be. They're supposed to be using Azure servers, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what for, because I honestly don't feel that they may be in talks. That's the thing. They may be in talks, but I honestly don't feel Sony is going to use those servers, because remember, they went into a partnership with Tencent and some other group to make use of another cloud service that's supposedly, I guess, like based somewhere in China. And the way Sony, just like Nintendo, has always been, is they always seem to want to do their own. They always want to seem to support their own. And that is like, it's like, to me, business is business. All right. If it's cheaper for me to go through you, even if you're a rival, then I'll go with you. If it's least headaches. But
Yeah,
a lot of them are so like headstrong and stubborn and still stuck in, in the 90s, that it's more on the lines of like, nah, we're not going to use them. We'll keep it on. It's like, I hate to go there. I hate to bring it that way, guys, but that mindset is going to be like, no, we're going to keep this in the Asian house, which is kind of hard for Sony to really say anyway. I mean PlayStation, since they moved house here to the States. But like I said, I mean, if they're doing this subscription service, hey, more power to them. Competition is king. That's cool. But is it any skin off my bone? Not really. Am I going to sign up? No. No, I mean, dude, I'm going to be busy enough as it is with what's coming down the pipeline, from Xbox. I'm going to be busy enough.
You know what? You said
So,
something right there that's beautiful, man. And I'm gonna let Realist jump in after I get through with this. But you're right. You made some key points. And what's funny is, not only are we going to be busy, but we're actually next generational busy. So we really have a reason to be busy. Like, we're busy for real because we're really next gen. We have Forza Horizon 5. We have Course that came out tonight. We got Halo Infinite. And now we have the gunk. We're going to be pretty busy. And we're closing out the year in high fashion. Great diversity of games. All these games are different. All these games bring value. Whatever you like to get into, you got an 88% chance of being happy of whatever kind of category that you like to play. That's not there, that will be there. So that kind of style of your game, other than fighting, you may not get that, but you got a good high B to be satisfied under that Christmas tree this time of year. Xbox has brought it. And you know what's funny, man? The reason why you were saying what you were saying about this Game Pass thing, because we all know as long as it's Xbox, people are going to have a problem. Xbox is like that threat, right? I don't know why people think of it as the threat. But if it's like what Reggie said. If the gaming industry is better because Xbox is here, we all see with our eyes that Microsoft with Xbox pushes the envelope. You have to respect the big bank, because the entities with the big bank takes the most risk. Now, when you think about this Game Pass thing that Bloomberg is talking about, this Spartacus, Project Spartacus, it's not a lie. It's not a joke. We knew this was coming. Look, man, there's a paper trail of what they don't do that ends up coming. They didn't want crossplay. It ended up coming. They didn't want EA access. It ended up coming. Now, they didn't want the cross generations. It ended up coming. They don't have no games anymore because you can only front so long before you hit that brick wall. You said that Game Pass isn't going to be a great practice model to follow behind, but yet you're going to follow it, because what Microsoft did was, you sit back to see if Microsoft is going to succeed at it. That's why you were saying you didn't think it was a great practice model. Nobody's dumb. But when you saw that Microsoft was making that money off of it, well, you can't deny it. Okay, it really works. I think we need to get into it. Oh, they're not going to have day one. I know what y'all mean by that. They're not going to have Day one, day-to-day games dropping. The day one exclusive games dropping day one on it. And my answer to that is, who cares? We know why they're not. They can't afford that. Sony has a little bank. Dude, all those third-party games, they can't afford to do what Microsoft does. Microsoft pays those developers, those publishers for that. Sony ain't going to pay all that money, man. They can barely even get games out on time. You guys got to wait till next February or something before you even see another game. I'm going to be honest. It's been very pathetic watching the PlayStation 5 community because the PlayStation 5 is getting no press. People are realizing, and only the real gamers will realize, man, I wasted a lot of money because gaming is about gaming. And there is an aura that surrounds the PlayStation community. Sony's not dumb because they reflected this. They know it's all about the exclusives, right? They know it's all about the console sales, right? And they know it was all about resolution. They built an empire off of those three things. Now those three things have been taken away from them. The PlayStation community has nothing but Xbox fans to look at right now. Exactly, Radiance. PlayStation Game Pass bootleg. They're out here bootlegging. They're out here burning CDs and discount rating generic, recordings, sending them out here. Dude, they're streaming out here hard with low Wi-Fi connection. I mean, really, man, who they kidding right now? We know they're going to do it, but if you think they're going to do it on the level of Microsoft, you're kidding yourself. It's kind of like this, and I'm going to let Rilla speak in. You know the difference between having fiber optics and just a strong 5G Wi-Fi connection, right? The 5G Wi-Fi connection is going to be based on your connectivity. It's going to be based on your area. It's going to be based on how strong that 5G signal can be brought to you. Now, the fiber optics is exclusively to your home. It's a lot wider, it's a lot powerful, it's a lot faster. So it's like 5G would be like having a main highway of 4 lanes, right? 4 to 5 lanes, which is not bad at all, right? It's not bad at all. Fiber optics is like having all your main highways on one. Fiber optics is like 5G times 5. You know what I'm saying? So and it can be utilized for anything. So one highway can be used for all your devices in your house. The other one could be used just solely when you're downloading to get that speed done. The other one could be used when you turn your PC on and you're doing all this business work. Fiber optics is the way to go. That's the difference. Xbox is always going to be using the next level of technology. Why? Because Microsoft is a technological company. That's why. You see what I'm saying? Sony will never have the one-up on Microsoft when it comes to the tech. When it comes to the tech, they're not going to have the one-up. This era is benefiting Microsoft because of the technological advances that are happening. So it's in favor of Microsoft. Once everything simmers down and all this new tech simmer down, Sony's going to come out with something that looks next gen. But right now, they couldn't get it if they tried because it's not up to them to push the next gen quality. That belongs to Microsoft, AMD, Qualcomm. Oh, did I say Qualcomm? Yo, realist.
Yes, it is.
Well, look, man, I want to address what you asked before, right? Why didn't they believe you? Because they were under the misconception that they were actually backing the market leader. And the third place can't actually lead from the rear. See, that's why they didn't believe you. It's impossible that Sony could be following Microsoft because they're number one. It's not number one, because what makes you number one now is accessibility, the ability for people to actually be able to play these games. Right? That's why they didn't believe you. Sony can't possibly be a follower of Microsoft, but slowly but surely, they're gonna show them that they are following Microsoft, and who is the industry leader, trendsetter, or standard bearer. So that's why they didn't believe that Sony was going to do what Microsoft does, even though they've already been proving the complete opposite. And to like a couple of things that Fireball said, the problem with Sony trying to partner with somebody else outside of Microsoft, outside of Amazon or Google, I don't think that they're going to be able to bring China Cloud here. So like they can try or desire to partner with somebody else, but they're gonna have to partner with somebody here, at least for service of this area. And something else you said, you asked if it was sustainable. Of course it's sustainable for Microsoft, but not for Sony. Sony doesn't have the output to sustain a subscriber. If you bring out one or two,
they don't have the bank. They don't have the bank to lose.
Well, not necessarily the bank to lose. They don't have the output. I mean, look at their cadence, right? They release a game, maybe 2 games, 3 games top. Is that going to keep you subscribed for an entire year? No, I'm not going to subscribe. I'm not going to subscribe for a year to play 2 games.
I told one dude who wanted to go into their history. I said, dude, if you look back on their history of their launches and stuff, they relied heavily on third party deals.
Yeah. But so I ask you, like I've asked everybody else, what third party of any significance is doing these exclusive deals? Square. There's the only big developer that's doing these time deals. Because what's going to happen now is you're going to start to compete with Microsoft on a service to have games in your service opposed to theirs. And I don't think they're ready to do that either. So you're going to get more of the same when it comes to their service. You're going to get more of the older games. Those are cheaper to put in your service. You may get the rare day one, but it's not going to be anything on the level of Microsoft's. But that's why they didn't believe you, because they felt like people were really buying these games. They were listening to the end numbers. God of War selling 20 million. When I don't have numbers on the breakdown, but I would be willing to bet that half of those sales were bundled or deep discounts. Because Jimmy told them himself that what they're doing isn't enough and they need to go into other platforms or another platform. They want their games in more places. They need more people playing their games. But eventually, they're going to acquire more studios. They're following the Microsoft blueprint. There's a reason why they bought all these studios. They're still looking to buy studios, but if you look at the studios that Microsoft acquires compared to the studios that Sony acquires, they're going to do what they can do to compete, which is a good thing. And Legal, you said that Sony can't have the upper hand. The only way Sony will have the upper hand is if Microsoft isn't trying, which was last generation towards the end. Sony looked great when Microsoft wasn't doing anything. Now that there's real competition between them and Microsoft, they don't look so hot right now.
It's
that's
funny.
Why they didn't believe you, and I believe that they believed. They just didn't want to. They didn't want to accept it, and they didn't want to acknowledge it. They always.
Or else you're breaking up.
What were you about to say, Fireboss?
No, I was saying you kept breaking up.
Oh well, hell, I don't know when I started breaking up.
Now you start
breaking up, man. Y'all shut me down. Y'all shut me down if I break up, man, because I'm moving. But
yeah.
No, it was just I don't know where I broke up. So yeah.
No, it was cutting in and out when you was going on about the about where it's like Sony was only looking good when Microsoft wasn't really taking them seriously. Wasn't doing anything. Well,
because legal said that Sony will never have the upper hand on Microsoft. The only way that they will is if Microsoft doesn't try. That's the only way. Sony is behind. Nintendo is behind. All they have is their individual offerings, but Microsoft is going beyond. Now I know that this is a topic of discussion for later on. We have some Trojan horses that snuck in the back door to let us know that Microsoft has more partners and backers than we anticipated. But yeah, go ahead, legal.
Shoot. Well, I was going to add to what you
Unless
said
you-
that it's, when you talked about blueprints and stuff. It's funny because remember what I always kept saying. Whereas people seem to forget whose blueprint Sony was following originally when they started. They was following. Yep. And now look whose blueprint they're trying to follow now.
See, Sony got a lot of credit. See, Sony had perfect timing when they came into gaming, period, right? Nintendo, people were down on Nintendo with the 64. I mean, not even necessarily the consumers, but the developers. The developers no longer wanted to be behind cartridges, and Nintendo always likes to have their own, delivery. But Sony had perfect timing when they came in.
Everybody's getting tired of Nintendo being bullies. Always trying to be heavy-handed on people. Especially developers.
But Sony came in doing the same thing though. Just a little softer. They came, it was like that, that homegirl that gets dumped and stuff, and then dude comes in on the rebound. Like, nah, you ain't gotta take that from him. Nah, I'll treat you right. The only difference in Nintendo,
come on in my car.
The only difference in Nintendo and Sony is Nintendo darn near had a monopoly on gaming. They were in a position to where they could dominate everything. And that's why they handled people the way that they did. Get into the whole Tengen argument and all that stuff when it comes to Nintendo. Tengen had to start to create their own cartridges, and Nintendo had to sue them about that, and they lost. That was to get around Nintendo pretty much railroading them on, I guess, royalty payments and payouts. But yeah, so Sony's gotten by with doing a lot because they have perfect timing, and a lot of people did enjoy their console, that PlayStation 1. A lot of people bought into it, and they didn't pay attention into the logistics, especially like now. Like now we have the internet and everybody's an expert. Back then, if it didn't come in the magazine, we didn't really know what was going on. So now it's more visible with what Nintendo was doing back then, but back in the 80s and 90s, we were just playing games. We didn't care. We just played games. We didn't know that Nintendo was mistreating, the developers of these games and not paying out the way they should. That's why every generation, Nintendo has to prove themselves because people really don't want to work with Nintendo. Because I don't think much has changed with them in the way they pay out.
Look, everybody's got to stop thinking that everything goes so smoothly, right? It's rough, man. Nintendo's had to learn how to, get themselves back in good graces with third-party developers. We all know the story to that. But like Radiant said, timing was everything. Sony had a lot of backing from the press, a lot of backing, and they still do. All right. But like we said, a lot of gamers like me that are in our fourth generation of gaming, we've seen this. We know what matters. See, listen, I'm going to give credit to the chit chat, to my panel. Some people think that when you speak in the truth on gaming, the best of your ability, right? Like with no intentions of doing the silly stuff or being toxic or anything like that. You've never seen me, right? You never seen me on Twitter or on here calling any of them consoles trash and garbage or none of that. You don't even see that in my posts on Twitter. But you know what I get accused of? I be getting accused of being toxic and stuff, right? And it's because they don't really know how to grade what I do. Now, when you go look at the other clowns, right? They saying things 10 times worse than I even say. We got one demonstrator this morning, right? But I don't have to say PlayStation Plus is trash or PlayStation is garbage. I don't have to waste my breath. Why I need to put out energy like that? Well, if I don't have it, I'm not playing it, then I can't judge it like that. But I can say it doesn't attract me. Don't want it. Never cared for it. See what I'm saying? And I've learned that even when you say stuff like that, they don't like that. They rather for you to just always say something positive about PlayStation and keep it negative about Xbox. Like Game Pass got ridiculed, but you just wait. You just wait till this PlayStation Plus gets revamped and it's looking like Game Pass in a way. They're gonna love it. And let me tell you what else they're gonna do. They're gonna subscribe to it. Because you know why? You've already failed to live up to your $70 myth. You guys didn't take care of Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Astrobot. You didn't even take care of Astrobot, and he was free. The only game y'all took care of was a 5-hour DLC. A 5-hour DLC. Y'all have hit rock bottom when it comes to fronting for those $70. We all knew y'all was gonna front. We all knew it because you got paper trails of too much renting last generation, too much red boxing last generation, too much bargain bins last generation. We already know how you shop. Sony does too, but they had to play along with y'all. I told y'all, Sony's just trying to figure out how to move forward without y'all because y'all making them look bad out here. So Sony throwing their games on PC. Y'all ain't even living up to that exclusive talk anymore. Because see, it was all about a matter of time. You grow up, right? Y'all ain't no longer 6 years old anymore. Y'all got rent to pay. Some of y'all got car notes. Some of y'all need groceries. So now your money is going into that real world currency flip bank. And now you're looking at it like, man, you know, the $70 ain't looking too good right now. You know, I'll wait for a game to go on sale. So in the meantime, y'all waiting? That's normal activity over there. Y'all sitting up here waiting to play Horizon Forbidden West. That's what y'all do over there. You'll play that game for a week, and then it's done. But what I'm getting tired of is people playing it off for Sony. There's too much playing it off. Sony made a garbage console, right? We ain't saying that the PlayStation games are garbage. We're calling the console garbage because the console is garbage. It has failed to live up to its hype. It's not even next generation, like I've been saying since day one. I still ain't got nobody to tell me what makes the PlayStation 5 a next generational console. Where's the features that give it its proof? It's nowhere to be found, right? So you guys are happy with a loud console. For the third time around, PlayStation 4 was loud. PlayStation 4 Pro was loud. For the fourth time, I'm sorry. The PlayStation Slim was loud. And now the PlayStation, no, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I think that's about 7 loud consoles. The vanilla PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Slim, PlayStation 4 Pro, the discless PlayStation 5, the loud PlayStation 5, and the louder PlayStation 5. That's 6 loud consoles that y'all been sitting around all these years fronting. Like turning on a loud console is cool. Y'all the ones that got the old end themes on your title screens, still rocking the World Wide Web on there. Last generation. www on your screen. World Wide Web. That goes all the way back to 1996. Old stuff. Y'all sitting around here acting like that stuff is cool. Sitting around here fronting. But see, now the PlayStation 5 has let you down.
Hey, Legal, let me ask you something. All right. If it's better than the PS4, would that could be considered like a step up so it's next generation? Or is it that it's just not next generation in comparison to the Xbox?
There's some qualifications that let me be specific with this, really. Xbox didn't boldly call itself next generation. PlayStation 5 didn't boldly call itself next generation. You want to know that what was calling them next generation? See, there was some requirements to be made. AMD was calling those consoles next generation. Remember that. Don't ever forget that, right? So what's the requirements? RDNA 2.0. That's it. So by
What about 1.5?
no, by
No.
by by default, right? It's next generation because its GPU is RDNA 2.0. Its CPU isn't, but its GPU is. Now, we've already talked about it. We broke it down. We saw the die. We saw the chip. And things were either not put in there or taken off, right?
Mm.
So when Microsoft was able to start telling us what the Xbox Series S was going to do in the future and what makes it next generational, you started to see that the talks started going away because AMD isn't going to flat out just tell you that this isn't a full-fledged console. That's bad marketing, man. Look, you're going to see the differences, just like Microsoft said, and their little trailer that they said. This thing is going to be leaps and bounds of its competitors out here. You just give it time. You're going to see the difference, the vast differences. So it's not even going to be up for grabs soon. We're going to start seeing the differences next generation, right? So Microsoft was able to early tell us these features that were coming out. Smart delivery, quick resume, machine learning, what's the other one? The SSD card, VR,
Direct storage.
DLSS.
DXR, what is it? Super fidelity.
DLI.
That's
Dynamic.
right. That's right.
Dynamic latency input.
Exactly.
VRR, VRS.
VRS. The 120 frames per second. Think about it. They just kept going, right? And it's crazy. Oh, Azure Blade technology, cloud input, cloud gaming. All these things is what makes Xbox next generational. Now, our list is long. Nobody can give us a list for that for PlayStation 5 because there isn't. And let me tell you something. You see how the media portrays the PlayStation 5? You see how they just go silent about it? This is how you know, man. This is how you know. And we got to stop getting into our heads now. We got to get out into this old thinking. Like I said, we have to stop thinking like we're VHS owners. All right? Because that old way of thinking keeps your eyes clouded. Microsoft isn't caring about the clout awards. I call it the clout awards. They're not thinking about that stuff. They're building their infrastructure, man. They're making that, they're giving them octopus arms partnerships out of this world. Because once all these partnerships get done, they're all going to lead back to Microsoft. No business in the world is not going to want to do technological business with Microsoft. Are you kidding? They're going to want to. You can't compete with Azure Cloud. You just can't. You look, Microsoft doesn't have to buy you. They don't have to buy you. But hey, man, let's partner. We'll give you this. You give us this. It works out for both companies. It's a match made in heaven. We'll take it. Everything doesn't have to be a buy. Everything doesn't have to be a sale in order to win at something. The best thing Microsoft ever did was teach us how to shut up about those console sales. Think about it. Who in their right mind talks about something that they don't make that much money off of? So you can see we as gamers, we were talking a lot of foolishness. Regardless, we were talking a lot of foolishness. Now, we smarten up through the years. We learned engagement. Look at Forza Horizon 5. Look what it taught us. It taught us engagement. It taught us what really mattered. Because listen, if you got people buying the game and you got people playing the game, automatically it's making money. Next year around, look at Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves don't have to say nothing no more. Give it a 68 on Metacritic. Who cares? The game is still around. The community is 25 million large. It's still expanding. Season 5 still going. Who cares? Real gamers don't care. Real gamers ain't got time for all that. Like I told y'all, these lames that you see on Twitter, they're small. That's a small community. That's a dot. That's a dot community in this big, vast world of the gaming industry and the gaming culture. A lot of them can't even represent gaming culture. They're on there trying to itch somebody's ear. They're on here trying to sway you over to like them. You know what I'm saying? That's not what gaming is about. See, the problem is we got too much YouTube influence in the gaming industry. We got too much of that. Instead of letting the game, the rawness of the gaming culture be on top of things, we let people with channels dictate the atmosphere. That's the number one problem that I see, especially when you get on social media and cats think that whatever they say is golden. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me, don't listen to them. How's that? You known by your works, man. You known by your works. There's an old saying, where everybody's at, that's where you should be nervous at. If you're in a big crowd, you need to be nervous. Bottom line, if you're in a big crowd, you lost. You know, that's just the truth. And you see it. You got people that have come up with the dumbest post in the world will get all that support. It's reflection. Birds of the feather flock together. You can't expect real people to have big mass followings. It doesn't work that way. Because real people are going to make enemies just simply being real. They ain't going with the grain. They're going to do what they know is right. They're going to say the right things. They're not going to hide behind truths. So that ain't popular. I need somebody that's going to tickle my ears. I need somebody to tell me my console's the best. I need somebody to say that console over there is garbage. And what the community has done is they have created speakers. They're not leaders. Just because they can speak don't make them a leader. Don't mean they know what they're talking about. You see it in their posts. They don't even know what they're talking about. But yet you got people out here where their quality is in what they say, not in production. Anybody can invest some money and get a high-end PC and make mass production value content and still don't even know what they're talking about because they just repeat a lot of stuff. But if you put your value in your words, you'll live longer and further than your channel. Because how you start is how you finish. People pay attention to that. Let a YouTuber that thinks he's comfortable start switching it up and see what happens to his followers. See what happens to his viewership.
We already got examples of that.
That's why they scared to switch up. When they start feeling bored about doing it, there's a certain way, and they want to, you remember when, for instance, you remember when Ja Rule was rapping Realist, and he came out with his first 2 albums, man, they were raw, they were the streets, right? The Murderers album and then the Veni Veni Vici album, right?
Yep.
But as soon as Irv Gotti told him, listen, man, we can make more money if you collab more because you got artistic value when you create relationship songs. You know what I'm saying? What would I be without you was his #1 banger. They took that note from LL Cool J and they ran with it because Ja's from Hollis, Queens, just like LL Cool J. He's from Hollis, Queens off of Farmer Street. You put that two together, you can blend it, you'll go further. Because when you're just doing that street hop, you're only going to be on one street, on one road when you rap that way. But if you can be versatile in your raps, you can get into multiple lanes. And see, how you start, if you don't make that change real quick, they'll want to expect you to be that way. Even when you get older, you can't keep talking about the same stuff. That's why you see a lot of these clowns now, they're not impacting right with their stupidity. Because they started out acting stupid 8 years ago. We're 2021, man. People grew up. People grown, man. You still sounding like you sound 8 years ago. Nobody wants to be with that. Think about it, y'all. I mean, I told y'all, we're in a new generation. It's up to you guys how we move forward. It ain't up to people like us. It ain't up to people that got a channel. We ain't moving nothing forward. The community is everything. You guys. What is somebody on YouTube gonna say about you? You ain't got no channel. What you got to lose? You their worst enemy. Stop following and see them switch up. It's just like a store. You stop putting your money into that store, they're gonna start dropping them sales. That money, that food or whatever those groceries or whatever those items they've been trying to sell you so high, it's gonna be cheap because they're gonna need you to come in and buy something. It's the same thing. We don't sit over here and try to be something we're not. We don't sit over here and try to talk about things and we just think, oh, this is gonna be the hottest thing right now. So let's just go with the flow. We create our own flow over here. And I'm proud of being around cats like y'all, man. I'm proud of being around this community over here that gives me a chance to speak. When I sit over here and see my man Marquise Harrell, that dude's been bigging me up from day one since I met him. From day one, he's been bigging me up. Keep going. Gaming is a hobby, man. Some of us actually talk gaming. And listen, like the realist told me, bro, you ain't been wrong yet. And like I say to him, I don't plan on it either. I don't plan on it. We already know what was going on, man. You got cats out here that didn't even understand about the PlayStation 5 coming out. They talking about it's coming out in 2019. And all you had to do was sit there and listen to them. Knew they didn't even know what they was talking about. That means they weren't even paying attention to the market. They wasn't even paying attention to what AMD was doing. Say something that ridiculous. Because they're gonna tell you whatever they think the trend is. They're not gonna tell you off of, oh, let me do the research. So whatever the trend is, I'm gonna tell the crowd the trends. You ain't gonna get ahead listening to that. But that's up to y'all. That's up to y'all, man. Y'all want to keep the silliness going? Keep the silliness going. Just don't complain about it. I see too much complaining. Don't complain. Men don't complain. They fix the problems. You got cats out here thinking it's cool to just talk down another console, talk down another. Bro, we don't do that over here. Yet you don't even hold us. You don't even give us the respect to even say that. You want to hold people accountable for the wrong reasons. You think just because that dude's been out so long, well, we just tolerate him, but we ain't going to tolerate you. How's that? Can't be double standard. If you can deal with that idiot, you can deal with anybody out here. Let everybody run rampant, say what they want to say, hurt your feelings. But in the end, that's not going to change Xbox from reigning. Those X's are going to be coming out of the sky everywhere soon. I ain't going to stop you. Like I told you with confidence. I told y'all with hella confidence. I've never played with y'all. I told y'all with hella confidence, they're all going to fail you this generation. Said it way before the consoles even came out. This is my time to shine. This is going to be beautiful because I'm going to watch them fail you. I love getting up on Twitter and watch them put up the dumbest posts ever. And then when they can't even make Xbox look dumb, they front like they really care about what it's doing until it messes up. Then they spill their heart. Notice how they don't spill their heart until Xbox gives them a little crack, and then they give you essays on how Microsoft need to be doing this and doing that for Xbox. But you don't ever see them essays for PlayStation 5. And these supposed to be multi-console owners. They want to come out here and make you think they playing on all these consoles. And I'm sitting back just laughing. Because here's what I could put together. If you claiming you got all these consoles and you gaming, why the hell you on Twitter then? See, it just adds up. It just doesn't make sense. You claiming you this gamer and you got all these consoles, what are you on Twitter for? So either 2 out of those 3 consoles ain't keeping you busy. You going somewhere where you keep busy, which is Twitter. Where you can act stupid. But see, none of that's going to change. You can act stupid. You can talk about Xbox, talk about PlayStation, be dumb. You want to engage, troll, be stupid, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm just letting y'all know, at the end of the day, Xbox is going to reign this whole entire generation from now until the end. There is no more Sony being ahead of Xbox in anything. Because the worst enemy now for Sony is those console sales, and they ain't trying to go through that again with y'all. 113 million consoles. Not even 2 million in subscriptions. They ain't trying to do that again with y'all. Y'all gonna mess them up. Hell, they said, man, let's get some of this over here on PC. Let's see how we can change this structure we got. And notice, I know y'all want to ignore it, but Sony head man already told Jim Ryan, you need to fix what you got, because what you got going on right here, and that ain't gonna work. That ain't working. You need to figure out how you gonna move forward. That's already been told to him. So this old nostalgia that you trying to hold on to, that old Sony way of doing things, that's been dead. That's already been shot down. They're just trying to slow cook you so you don't get depressed, because y'all some weirdos over there. It's like it's a cultic, fanatic environment. Like any little thing that riles y'all up that even looks different, y'all lose y'all's mind. You had a dude talking about posting up this post talking about it's up to us to keep things the way they are. Like, how stupid do you sound? Like, so you okay with still driving cars with carburetors? You still cool with wind up engines, right? That's what you wanted. If we look like, if we would think like you think, then we're good with our old flip phones, pagers, and going on like that. Dial up phones, landlines. Come on, man. That's not even for real. What you scared of? You scared of change? Yeah, because if you scared of change, that changes y'all's whole way of thinking about how Sony should run their company. That's why you scared of. You scared of looking like how everybody else looks, because that's been y'all's thing all year long, all these years. You want everybody else to look like y'all. When in fact, as you can see, if you open up your eyes, even with all of that push y'all did, y'all didn't influence nobody. Here comes Nintendo, and they figured out how to make a handheld device using small. They went back to their roots, use micro machine cartridges. So now you can walk around with your handheld console without even using Wi-Fi. Beautiful concept, right? So the Switch is blowing up because Nintendo figured out a way to make things easier for a gamer. Here comes Microsoft. Yo, we're gonna make a subscription plan infrastructure, and we're gonna call it Gamepass, where we put 100-something games out here and put a subscription fee to it. Gamepass blows up. What's Sony doing? In the meantime, Sony had a handheld that failed. They made another handheld that didn't last. They got PSN, where the PlayStation 4 community wasn't even buying into it. Then you come out and hear that they're not even month-to-month subscribers. They don't even do month-to-month, bro. They skip on that. And this was last generational. They were doing that. All this stuff come out of the dark on them, right? So we're sitting here saying to ourselves, okay, if Sony is that great, then why don't nobody follow them? Why don't they follow their practice models? Because their practice models isn't what it is that they say it is. They do that so that you'll believe that smoke and mirror. But when things get to cooking too hot, they come up out that water. They want to cool down. Just to let you know, hey, listen, yeah, we think it's cool that we do it like this. Of course, because doing it like this is where the money's at. Who are you fooling? That's why you see Microsoft just happily moving forward. Just happily moving forward. Ain't nothing Sony gonna do to deter them from doing what they doing. Microsoft already knows that their vision works. You know why? Because all the other Fortune 500 companies are doing the same thing. they ain't going. They're not being successful. They sure as hell not trying to look at how Sony runs things to be successful. That's what's up. So it is what it is. Y'all can either accept the future willingly or not. But like I'm here to tell y'all, regardless of how you accept it, it's gonna happen. So just get used to Xbox being all in the air, getting all the press. Now you got like Seamless Blackley said, when Microsoft puts the money to back up Xbox, ain't nobody can stop them. So now, who's gonna stop Microsoft now? Who? It sure as hell ain't Sony. Try again.
Bro, can't nobody stop Microsoft, man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you who can stop Microsoft: the government, and that's what a lot of people hope for. But they're not close to a monopoly yet. Yo.
Hello?
He just dropped. Anyway, but yeah, man, just kind of, I guess, piggybacking off what he's talking about. I mean, Microsoft, that's, look, they're on a different plane. And I've always said that there's nothing that Sony could do to compete with a motivated Microsoft, right? Microsoft treated Xbox as like a little plaything on the side, and they've been getting by. And I guess for the fanboy, I mean, that stuff's fun. I mean, I've been doing that since I was a kid, man. It's good for your side when you're winning, right? But they didn't realize what they were going up against. They were going up against an Xbox with a quarter support. And now they got full support. And when Xbox first came in, I mean, they weren't, even in inflation money, they weren't close to the value that they are right now. So with Microsoft backing Xbox, treating it as one of their pillars, there's nothing that Sony's going to be able to do to keep up. The only thing that I see them doing is just becoming a customer. Microsoft doesn't need to kill any of them off. Microsoft is going to just dominate. Like, people can buy a PlayStation due to brand loyalty or whatever else. I mean, if those bangers are really banging to them, they'll go buy it. But the better offering is always going to come from Microsoft. They have the resources to go out and get whatever they need to get done, unless that thing comes from Japan. I mean, that seems to be the only, shell they haven't been able to crack yet. But, from the, I guess, TGS show, they said they had, 221 unique studios making games. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if they actually bring forth some quality with that. But there's nothing going forward that Sony's going to be able to do. I mean, but do what they do and fall into their place, stay in their lane, just like Nintendo found their lane. Xbox has found their lane, their groove to sit in, and they're just going to operate in that. And I think that, there's something for everybody. But to just go on and on, we already know that when it comes to, what each company can offer or provide, there's no competition. There's no real competition when it comes to this.
Nope. And but yeah, so I mean they sorry, I was clearing my throat. But yeah. So the only ones who can stop Microsoft is, the government or Microsoft themselves. If Microsoft is like, you know what, this is boring, let's move on to other stuff. But yeah, I mean, as far as what PlayStation can do right now is they can just as you were saying, I mean, they just basically just go with what their strengths are and see how far. I mean, see how far it carries them. But I mean, I don't know how far that's going to be because even their own fans, even though they sit there shouting their name from the rooftops and stuff, as how they love to throw numbers at us, that numbers don't lie. Well, it's back to them too. Numbers don't lie. You guys don't play your games.
No, they don't buy them either. I mean, look,
Yeah.
that's
So
another thing when it comes to this whole thing. We're talking about like social media. I like to give us the credit and say we are the hardcore, even though those get on their front and then when they put the little
and
gamer tag and people in their community call them out for not playing their games. Even those guys, I'm going to consider them, if they're not hardcore gamer, their interest is on a hardcore level. I give them that. Like,
yeah, and it's funny you brought that up because that's before you popped in, before Legal went live. That's what I was telling him. You know, where I had to get on I had to get on one dude about that who's every time this one YouTuber that I usually check out and stuff would post something, this clown would keep popping up talking about like how toxic Xbots are and all this other stuff like that. But I just brought it home. I just said, look, man, for every event you ever been to, how many so-called quote-unquote Xbox have you seen come in saying trash, Snorefest, Next, Skip, and all the other stuff like that? How many you seen doing that? Oh, I seen like a few and all that stuff, and I know he's lying because I would check out some of these events myself, and I may see maybe one or two people. And let me tell you something: when I go to dig into it, you know what I find out? These dudes aren't even Xbox.
yeah. Well, I mean,
They're
look, that's
they're
why
they're they're
that's why
they're
I never
they're,
say
they're, they're
nobody.
yeah, they're PC or like
Them,
one dude's case, one dude's case, he's not really even a gamer. And that's what what I was talking legal about. It's like, you know, see a lot of these dudes who like to do this stuff like that, man, they're just stirring the pot or they're just looking for attention. The only thing they're trying to do is they're just trying to just get a rise, just get a laugh, because all they do is they just want to laugh at the Xbox and PlayStation fans. That's all it is, you know. And when it comes to like a lot of these little like ponies and stuff like that, these toxic PlayStation dudes, man, I'm getting to a point where it's like, why are we even wasting our breath? Because well, for all the futtery that they like to spread and everything, I haven't seen one bit of it slow up the juggernaut that Microsoft is becoming. Microsoft has
yeah,
became the Kool-Aid man, busting through your wall, bringing you, bringing you something, bringing you something to drink.
bro.
So
Look, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Those two companies, Sony and Nintendo, have been getting by doing the minimum. Now, like Nintendo has their IPs that are very strong. You got Mario, you got Pokemon, Zelda. So those are strong. They're going to be able to perform. I believe that people actually buy the consoles just to play those games. But
yeah,
they've been getting by just doing that. There's very little innovation, very little risk taking going on from those two, right? Microsoft's coming with new things, new IPs. I mean, Wu-Tang, who saw that coming? You know what I mean? We still don't know what Compulsion is doing. Like they've got games that are different. They're taking risks. And why are they able to take these risks? Because they don't need for these games to sell, 15 million units. They just need you to jump into Game Pass and give them a try. That's the difference. That's why we're getting to see new experiences. We're getting to see new characters, risks being taken on this side. And I don't know
it's
what the other two can do to compete with that, other than Sony tie up third-party time deals and their three quote-unquote three or four blockbusters every 5 or 7 years. It's nothing that they can do unless they go buy up some more studios. But then they're gonna have, at the price that they're buying them from, they're buying smaller studios. So once you buy those studios, you got to build them up. You got to bring in more people. That's gonna take you even longer to bring out more games. There's nothing that they're gonna be able to do to compete on the level of Microsoft. I tell them all the time, they bet on the wrong horse, man. Before, Microsoft wasn't even trying, and Sony couldn't get rid of
yeah. They and I mean and it's funny, all the ones who sit there wishing and wanting for Microsoft to fail. the thing that I'm gonna call it. It's like the majority of them that I've been seeing that have been like that. Who did they used to ride with at first?
Xbox.
They used to ride with Xbox, and the reason I feel that they fighting so hard, I mean, because dude, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's like when you said that, that we Xbox, fans are more gamers than they are. Dude, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Because I have seen more people on this side of the fence, like I told Legal before we started, more people on this side of the fence where they have no problem with owning all the platforms. They have no problem with giving Sony and Nintendo their flowers when they earn them. But why is it so hard for that side? Why is it so hard? And even if they do say something like, well, yeah, I played the Halo multiplayer. It's all right. But it ain't no banger. And it's like, it's the most childish, most pettiest thing it's like looking at my little 13-year-old brother when he's in the chat and stuff. That's what it's like. And
Bruh.
it dawned on me. It dawned on me. It was like they fight so hard because something deep down inside them is it's like, oh man, I think I made a mistake. I think I made a huge mistake, and it's now starting to come home to roost. It's now starting to bite them in the ass now. It's starting to sting, and they don't know what to do and where else to go except one thing: attack.
Twitter. That's all they can do, bro. Go run the Twitter where you got other goofy people to like your comments, right? So check it out. They're all gonna have to come play with us in silence, just like that dude, middle-aged gamer guy, right? He's playing Halo in secret, right? He's playing Forza in secret. That's what they're gonna have to do because they built their whole persona on hating Xbox. Right, down talking Xbox, and then you got a whole bunch of people who follow you with that same type of attitude. So they're gonna have to come and play with us in silence. Right? They're gonna have to be incognito over here. Bro, until Sony can bring them some multiplayer games, they're gonna have to continue with these one and done games. I heard this one guy say, "Oh, we're still talking about Sony games because they're timeless classic. Now you're still talking about it because it's been so long since you got another game between that." And that's something they're gonna have to cope with. Dude, Microsoft hasn't even really started yet, right?
Yeah, and as much as they want to sit,
they got 18 million new subscribers, right? Without even dropping anything hardcore. Now we get Forza, Halo. We're gonna have Starfield, Redfall, that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. And then Sony's gonna have what do you have? You got Horizon, and you got that 2-year time exclusive game. Man, I don't think God of War is gonna make it, man. I'd be surprised if it does. Okay, so after they release God of War, then what?
Yeah, see, the thing is, both of those, Horizon and God of War, and Gran Turismo, are going to be cross.
Okay, so they do have Gran Turismo.
They're going to be cross-gen.
But look what I asked you. Okay, so if they release God of War, then what? What else do they have? You see what I'm saying? They already released Sackboy
2.
They already released Sackboy. You think they're gonna be able to knock out another one in 2 years? You know what I'm saying?
Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne remake.
That's right. Let's not forget Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but that's 23,
Wolverine.
Man. 23, 24. And then Wolverine might be 24, 25. You know what I mean? Like, look, Sony got by being able to sell hope with the last gen, right? Show them games. You remember before they suddenly didn't need E3 anymore, we saw the same show for 3 years?
Yep.
And that's what they did. And then you even had Xbox fans. See, Sony does such a good job of selling hope. I was like, man, you corny dudes don't shut up. Like, what kind of dudes are y'all, man? Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I mean, I heard another dude say this, but I've been thinking it, man. The Xbox community, man, a lot of these dudes don't have a back, man. Like, they're too busy trying to make everybody happy. Like, Dude, there's no way that stuff is cool, man. If Perfect Dark doesn't come out soon, I'm gonna have to get on Xbox's ass about that too. I don't want them to run the same play that Sony ran last gen, showing games 3 and 4 years out. That ain't the business. You got too many. You got too many studios out there. You got too many uh, uh, global publishing games going on out there. So you don't need to show games that far out. Now I know COVID is a thing, and they might have added a year to 9 months to a year to a lot of these games. But we don't need to start getting game announcements 3 or 4 years in advance. We saw that, and we laughed Sony out the building for doing that. So Microsoft doesn't need to do that. But they do a good job of selling their fan base hope. These dudes will hold on talking about Spider-Man for the next 3 years if that's what it takes. But I'm just asking because I don't think
You better
God of War
believe it.
makes it. Why does okay, if you release God of War, I don't know if you understand what I'm asking you. If you release God of War, what else do they have for 23? Are they gonna show Spider-Man commercials for 9 months? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what else they have unless they got another third-party deal tied up somehow.
Supposedly, according to some news, they have like 25 different projects going on at once, and the question is how far out these projects are, and what's going to be the cadence, and are these going to be in the same caliber of what we've been seeing coming just to Game Pass alone? Because it's not just it's not just the first party and stuff. It's the second party and even some third party dealings that are hitting Game Pass that are
That's
of
correct, boss.
quality. It's going to be rapid fire. It's going to be like the pistons of a doggone steam engine as it keeps hitting and hitting and hitting.
Well, see, I'm not talking about Xbox. We already know Xbox got it coming.
Oh no.
We've got announced games. See, I'm talking about Sony.
But
Sony showed you about 25 games, right?
And that's
but
what
since
I'm.
That announcement, we've gotten Spider-Man, Wolverine, 2 director's cuts, and another game. Like, those 25 games could be anything. But I think there's a reason they don't want to talk about them, because if it was something that they were high on, we would know about it. Sony's never been quiet. Now all of a sudden they're quiet. Their whole fan base doesn't know what's coming. They don't have any ammunition.
They never been pushed into a corner, Eli. That's the thing. They've never been pushed into a corner. Once they've been able to break out from under Big Daddy Nintendo's shadow, they've been so used to being the one that's been the big kid on the block, the big bully. But not anymore. Now all of a sudden, they come, they graduate from high school. Now they're in college, and the little nerdy kid with the the bifocal glasses that they used to like poke fun at and everything in the corner of the classroom. That Joker's now, huge, swole. He's not wearing them bifocals no more. He's now on the football team. Varsity.
He actually got a baton passed to him. And you're right, man. They can't.
And he remembers everything. He remembers everything in the back of that class. But the thing about it is, he's not going to go savage.
Nah, he's gonna smile at you and say, "We're gonna work together. When everybody plays, we all win."
He's gonna put them strong, firm hands on your shoulder. He's gonna look you square in the eye with the most evilest of grins, and he's gonna tell you, "Well, competition is king."
Yeah.
When we all play, when we all play together.
Yeah, when we all play, we all win, man. Because I'm just saying, because like when these guys start talking about the competing platforms, right? Legal brought up that they can't compete, and I'm just here to second that. Like, I'm like trying to have like an unbiased conversation when it comes to this. If Sony and Nintendo continue to do it the way they've been doing it, this is zero competition in my opinion. I'm buying their games if I just want to buy them. But if I had to buy one console, I don't understand why anybody would choose either of those other two platforms as their only console. Because we're gonna have the volume, we're gonna have the quality. I'm convinced that Xbox now knows what a good, and I'm convinced that they knew what a good game was when they did release some of their games in a rush. But they needed something. But this is a different Microsoft, different motivation, different financial backing, and there's no competition. I just needed somebody to tell me anything. I've spoken with Sony fans. I'm trying to talk to anybody. I just need somebody to tell me something, because there's nothing that anybody's been able to tell me that makes sense that shows me that there is a competition going on other than with console sales.
But the thing is, you already know the answer, though.
Well,
The answer is there is no answer.
They know the answer too. So why make the tweets? Why like the tweets?
Because
you know
they have nothing.
It ain't even that. It's called insecurity. It's called I need somebody to harness my emotions. And when they speak dumb and make dumb posts like that, that's their elixir. That's
remember
their bottle.
what I just said a few minutes ago. A lot of these toxic trolls, they're former Xbox players. They telling themselves they don't want to come back home because they know they have to wear the egg on their face. They got to eat not just a slice legal, Eli. They got to eat the whole damn humble pie.
And see, you know what? We like throwing it at them. That's the thing now. We learned that, man, this is kind of fun.
I want to throw it at them. They need to take this pie straight to the face, baby. What you mean?
Hold on a second. Let me put on my clown outfit. Let me get my honky nose.
Exactly. you want to throw the pie at them now. It's like it's fun doing that. It's fun doing that.
Got you with the bottle of seltzer.
You got people out here, man, that nitpick Halo. Be cracking me up as if there's no other game. Look, what's funny is they're gonna nitpick the king, right? But they accept all the other all the other whack stuff that
they have no choice, legal. They have no
all
choice.
the way through. But when it comes to Halo, they want to nitpick greatness. Look,
bro,
and
legal.
Halo is a work in progress. It's gonna always be something they're improving on as it goes, because it's that.
Well, that's all games. But legal, they have no choice but to make Battlefield great. They have no choice but to make COD great, because they don't have any other options. Their Halo killer has been killed off.
Yeah.
So what? So what do you have left? What do you have left? You have to,
yo,
bro, that ain't nothing but a hater. All right? That ain't nothing but your next door neighbor looking at your car. You know what I'm saying? You work hard for, saying he think he hot stuff. That's all that is. That's all it is. I gotta sit over here and hate you when you turn your back.
Facts.
Dude, they have to love what they get. These dudes talking about third party. We don't need Halo. We got that too. That's the whole problem. See, last gen when they were making these movie games winning game of the year, and they were like, well, where's Xbox's games? We're like, well, yeah, we're playing Halo. We got these games with these long legs. We're still playing them. No, that wasn't good enough. See, we didn't have to go crap on their games.
No, we don't.
We're over here playing our games.
Why do I need to put emphasis on their games? Like, they don't put emphasis on it. Look, why are we going to talk about a game that ain't nobody playing? They don't play it. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, why do I need to speak on stuff that are not even in the topics? Look, they're not even being played in Japan. Nobody's playing these games, okay? Most people right now are playing Xbox games. That's just facts. They're playing Xbox games right now when it comes to consoles. Xbox is on fire right now. And the king is coming. So many people are ready to play that campaign and get to throwing up clips and get to showing you how far they are. Some of them going to start on Legendary and try to do it by themselves and all that. But we all know the true essence of Halo isn't going to start until that co-op hits. When that co-op hits, it's as if Halo is going to be, it's like a second breath, like just like a second wind of energy. And you're going to see a surge. You're going to be like, man, I thought they wasn't even, like they wasn't even playing this game like that. Then you're going to see millions more just to play it co-op. So now, whenever that co-op hits, nothing's going to breathe again. It's like, have you noticed? There's not no heavyweight games dropping with Halo as far as shooter and campaign at one time. They're not gonna do that. That's silly. That's not even Russian roulette, right? That's suicide. But notice how Microsoft 343, they're genius about giving this thing wingspan, because you brought out the multiplayer and it's not all done. You brought out campaign, which doesn't have its beautiful co-op feature to it. So you let those months go down the road, then you drop it. And it's going to be a surge. It's going to be another surge because everybody plays Halo together. That's what Halo in its campaign is crazy, because like Halo's like the opposite of Gears, right? Gears, you get in there, you play the campaign, beat it, and you're on that multiplayer. You own it. Halo is like, dude, we playing that campaign, we beat it. Then you want to go back and play it with a co-op. You want to play with a friend. You beat it. But the multiplayer people, they love playing that. They stay over there. And that community grows. So you have two groups of people, right? Who will play it soloist, who will play it co-op. And then you have the crowd that plays multiplayer, and they stay there. That's why Halo is so special. It stays there. It's like it doesn't go away. And that's why nobody could ever figure out the success of Halo, because it does things so differently. It does things like no other game does, you know? Even Destiny can't even do that. I mean,
y'all notice Destiny is leaving Game Pass?
It's like trying to compare what Forza Horizon does. No Razer does what that game does. None. Like Playground Games hit the jackpot with that franchise, right? To the point where they don't have to worry about it. They over here making brand new games. And people think they sitting over here making games off of their own experience. Nah, man. Y'all, like I said, y'all have been doing y'all's research. It was already told for us in 2018 that they were already hiring different devs from different angles of development. So you got people from God of War, you got people from open worlds coming in there, helping them create this Fable. They ain't just Playground, it ain't just turn 10 with hardly any experience that are just gonna take that game, and we're doubting it. Man, I don't know, man. They just ain't got the experience. I don't know. We better hold our breath. Bro, really? They're not stupid, man. They hired great talent. That's what you do. There's not going to be, I'm telling you right now, man, Microsoft is one, now they just need a superhero game. And I'm telling you, like, we have enough little mascot games to enjoy. And I'm glad Battletoads came back, because now Battletoads can be revamped. You know what I want from Battletoads? I want a beat-em-up Battletoads. That's it. Give me a beat-em-up Battletoads. Dude, you don't know how well that would sound? A beat-em-up version of Battletoads would just go bananas, bro. Everybody's on that game. Just, you know, it's not hard to know, man. It's not hard to figure this stuff out. Just be in tune with the community.
Well, Battletoads does deserve a little bit more attention.
It deserves a little bit more. I'm glad it came back. Now let's do something with it.
That supposedly talks about a sequel. So
yeah, we got.
Yeah, but I don't want a sequel like this one though. I want it like you said, a beat 'em up.
Yeah, give me
one with a little more attention to detail.
Right.
Well, you know the reason they did this one the way they did was because they was more or less trying to follow the original. So I agree with y'all where it's like, okay, you followed the original and everything like that. So now it's time to, the next one, let's hope and see that they more or less, I guess, try to go with the formula that better fits. Because the original Battletoads was a hodgepodge. At first, it makes you believe it's a beat 'em up because that's just the first few stages it starts you off. But then next thing you know, you're platforming. Next thing you know, you're out in space shooting. Then you're on hover bikes.
Right. Exactly. And it's just like I said, the elements are there. I love what they're doing. Keep bringing the new IPs. But my thing with Microsoft is keep building them, and that's what I think they know this. This is why those acquisitions are made, and this is why they're not done. Because we need a library, a real library. We need some sequels. I'm tired of playing one game and then it's so great and we don't hear about it no more. What are we hearing out of Crytek? Another Crisis. Okay, I'm cool with that. But a Rise Son of Rome, another Rise Son of Rome would have been nice. But if we're getting another Crisis, okay, I'm cool with that. That's a great franchise. But when you do something, make sure it sticks, man. Make sure it's still exciting and people want to go out there and get that game. I think we're in a good time where some of these mascot games need to come back. Hey, Conquer, come on, bring them back. What's wrong with them? Bring them back. That's rare. Bring them in.
You got to potty them out.
Let's go, man. Let's get some of that stuff in there. Mix it up with Xbox. Get it on in there. We got Gamepass for that.
I think they're gonna have to task other studios with those titles. Like they don't have one in house that wants to do another Banjo or Conquer.
Yeah, they can leave Banjo alone. Just give me Conquer.
I hear a whole lot of people asking for Banjo.
Yeah, there's more asking for Banjo and stuff.
Banjo can stay in the vault, bro.
The way I see it though is there's room for both to exist because both of them did exist at one time. Because you can have Banjo for the more younger ones, and of course you got Conkers for those such as yourself. And it's like the teams that they currently have, they're more obsessed with wanting to do their own thing. The Rare of now is more obsessed with wanting to do their own thing. So that comes to where they may have to look into doing some second party deals, or they may have to do another acquisition or two of teams that specialize in those types of games.
Yeah, I mean,
so what do y'all think about Razer and Qualcomm coming together, man, making this nice little handheld with Gamepass as a driving force? I'm all for it, man. I just want a price, bro. I want a price.
Well, like I think we talked about this. It's gonna come down to the price for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's gonna need a cell phone plan. So how much is that gonna cost? Like, who's gonna participate? Verizon, AT&T, Google Fi, whatever it's called. Like, they're gonna have to come up with the whole thing. It's gonna be just like a cell phone. And if it's 5G radios aren't cheap. So I just want to see the price. I want to see how much it costs. But it's a good idea. It's a you don't need cartridges. All you need is the internet. So, and that's what I was talking about earlier. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the cloud's a joke. Nobody's behind the cloud." Because I think I told you this. Like, my children, one of them broke my Kishi. So then I went to go try to buy another one, and I see they're not selling them. Like, you can find them sometimes, but Razer doesn't have it, or didn't have it when I looked. But then this comes out. So they've gone a few steps beyond what I imagined they were going to do. I thought that maybe Microsoft was losing support with this. But nah, they said, "No, we got you. Take this. Look at this prototype." But I'm all for it. I just need to know how much it's going to cost and who and what carriers are going to be participating in allowing that to be added on. Because you're going to need cellular service for it. And 5G, I know like a Note was like $1,200, but for 5G it was like $1,500. And that's just for your phone. So I just want to see how much it costs.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. But so far, what they've been showing is basically just a test unit, or just more or less, as they say, is just the SDK, the other development kit. So I want to see what the final unit looks like. But it also kind of like makes me wonder if Microsoft just happens to just out of the just out of the left side of the field, be like, you know what? Maybe we should go ahead and think about our own version, because there's no harm in it. I know some people be like, oh, that's a waste. They don't want to burn the money for that. Burn what money? What money are they wasting or burning? Come on, seriously. What's to
You know,
stop them from not doing their own version?
but when it comes to that, I noticed that Microsoft does not want to be Apple, and they have shown they have no problem with partnering with other companies. Let other companies handle the hardware. That's what it seems like the route that they're taking with a lot of things, because they could very well do it, but it's like they have their phone, but what did they do first? They partnered with Samsung. Game Pass comes on Samsung phones. I think they would take that route before they would invest into a handheld all on their own.
But you know what I'm
Especially,
excited about? I'm just excited about having something that, like I said, lives up to next gen qualifications, man. They're talking about making this thing 144 hertz. That's flawless victory. And then when you bring it home, you can connect it to your TV, your 4K TV, and play it just like the Switch. It's like an Xbox Switch device. And no, Razer and Xbox has partnered, man. So this is beautiful with the emergence of Qualcomm. Because really, explain to people, man, the greatness about Qualcomm. That's a big deal. I don't know if people really realize just how big and how important Qualcomm is when you talk about Wi-Fi connections and things. And I'm talking
well,
about around the world. So, realist, if you like to
well,
elaborate on
Qualcomm,
that, man, let them know.
well, Qualcomm is in all of our cell phones. They own the 4G, 5G technology. So that's what's significant about Qualcomm. But also, that's a Qualcomm chip in there too. So if it's not an Apple phone for the most part, or a Google phone, it's going to have a Qualcomm chip, Qualcomm technology. As far as, I mean, the radios are all Qualcomm. It's theirs. They get paid royalties for every cell phone sold. So you should be able to use that thing anywhere. You know, I don't know if you'll be able to stream high quality in the trees, but you'll have some kind of service no matter where you go.
Let me. You nailed it, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't have to go in depth, but you there was nothing wrong with what you said. But I'm gonna go in depth just so to back you up, the realest one. Qualcomm is this. This is what it specializes in, right? And notice how it says it, right? It. So it's a thing. It's a thing, realist. It's a thing, boss. It's a thing, chit chat. So it creates semiconductors. So look what realist said. This thing is it's like a beginner. It's an origin entity. It's an origin entity. So when you say it, it's like, hey, this is where things begin. You hear what I'm saying? Qualcomm is where these things begin. So look, it creates semiconductors, software, and services related to, you guessed it, wireless technology. It owns, once again, that word it owns patents critical to the 5G, 4G, CDMA 2000, the TD, what's that? SCADA. I think SCADA is with them too. SCADA. I worked with SCADA, man. That's information that you send across the lines to states, right? When I used to work in the turbines, we would have to use SCADA, and Qualcomm dealt with that. Qualcomm dealt with the turbine activity. TD, I don't know how you say this, but CDMA and
CDMA.
WDMA mobile communication standards. Qualcomm was established in 1985 by Irwin M. I mean, this stuff is big, man. Qualcomm is known for its multinational corporation, known for designing and manufacturing semiconductors and wireless telecommunication products. Now, to respect on Sony, Sony does good with semiconductors. So you can see that Qualcomm and Sony in its semiconductors realm, they do very excellent. A lot of companies will go to Sony for their semiconductors. A lot of people will go to Qualcomm. But the difference is that's where it ends with Sony right there. And then, you know, of course, they do their camera lenses and things like that over on that angle. But with Qualcomm, like my man the realist was saying, it's all about connectivity. So what's one of the #1 features for your gaming experience today? Connectivity. So Qualcomm is the way to go, because Qualcomm, like he said, it's the big boy when you talk about 5G, 4G, wireless technology. That's it. Like he said, in your cell phones, nothing gets past them when it comes to that stuff. Nothing. That's right, Distinctive 70. Anything Sony uses for its online and cloud services is through Azure. That's right, which is owned by Microsoft. Sony had to go to somebody because that's not where they specialize in. Now, if Microsoft, and this is where the partnership came in at. If something needs to be done in the the semiconductor area, then guess what? Microsoft could go right over to the Sony because they're using the Azure for their gaming services, and Microsoft can now have some deals made for the semiconductor activity of Sony. So when you partner, it's the key word. When you always think about partnerships, think about this. Hey, what can we do for you? What can we do for you? It's a mutual thing that each company utilizes from each other where they're strong at, and what the other one is lacking, the other one provides what the other one provides for the other one that's lacking. That's what a partnership is. And so when you see that type of stuff, understand that, okay, Sony could be getting a good deal with the Azure because if they're allowing Microsoft to use something in the semiconductor field, that it may not even be like, oh, they're hitting us hard in our pockets where we're hurting, kind of like what Sega did. When you hear the deal, the partnership with Sega is going to be utilizing the Azure cloud to do what? Make bigger games for Xbox at the same time. Guess what? Allowing Microsoft to be advertised in the East. Think about that. Because you don't want to buy Sega with that cultural outlook, how they look at things. That culture is embedded into taking care of its culture. They don't like seeing their culture being bought out by foreign countries because they're proud of how they come back from World War II. They're proud from coming back from the ashes and building that great island the way they built it, and taking their education and their technology seriously. So Japan is proud about that, right? And they actually had to rely on one another. So when they rebuilt their culture, culture by loving one another, sticking to each other, and being proud to be Japanese. That's what people got to understand first. So when you see Microsoft saying, hey, we're going to give you this access to this Azure, you know, Sega and Microsoft are tight. But they're like, listen, it wouldn't be a good idea to buy you, or it wouldn't be a good idea to buy anything from over there. We know how the culture is, but we can make partnerships to where when you need something and you want to go to another level, hey, come check out. Hey, we'll get your plane tickets. Come to Seattle. Come to Redmond. Yo, check this out. This is what we got. Blowing those guys' minds away. What? Yeah, man, check this out. Yo, let's make a partnership. You utilize this, you help us get our face out in the Eastern world. That's the key. What's the problem with Microsoft? What's the #1 problem with Microsoft? Exposure, right? With Xbox, not Microsoft as the company Microsoft. That's worldwide. They're known around the world. One of the most hated too because they can get things done. But with Xbox, it's always been about lack of exposure. We've seen it with Xbox Live, right? How it struggled to get in multiple homes worldwide because the connectivity, you had to pay for your internet. This is why Gamepass was such effective. Because as long as you had the Xbox, as long as you was paying for your Xbox to be on, you could get Gamepass and you had access to over 100-some games. It was cheaper. It helps out in people around the world. It gave Xbox a way to get through a door into somebody's home a lot easier. And then when they figured out, hey, why don't we just use the cloud? We're already in 120 markets. Now we can get Xbox out there. That's right. It still isn't. It still isn't. Not the console, but that's why they're working on it as form as the ghostly form, as that ghost in the shell aspect. That's how Xbox is going to get out there to those countries. Because think about it, they definitely ain't going to do it by console now, not with this virus out here. It's hurting everybody. But think about it. Microsoft got prepared for a future, right? So now the pandemic can't even hurt them like that. Not with the cloud. That virus can't hurt the cloud. Not when they can put an app on your TV screen. Think about that. When Microsoft puts that app, you know everybody's sleeping on that, but you're going to get it right here on Di-RRec Gaming tonight, baby. We do this thing called Xbox over here. Don't sleep on that Xbox app on your new smart TV. Because when that app hits, that's another thing. You're going to have to be limited to that console. Phil Spencer is saying, listen, man, I'm creating a universe with Xbox where you ain't going to be limited. You game when and where you want to game at. So you come home and you only have one Xbox, but you got 5 TVs, don't worry. Pick a room. You got a smart TV, pick a room. Because Xbox is going to have an app that's going to be compatible to all these new next-gen TVs soon. Everybody's sleeping on that, bro. But that was told to us earlier this year that was going to happen. So you just go to your little app like you do for Hulu, Netflix, and all that. And Gamepass is going to be there. But what's going to be beautiful is your account. When you open up that Xbox app, just put your account in. Guess what's going to happen? See, you already see cloud gaming on your Xbox right now. Listen to how Microsoft talks. This is my language now, right? We're talking our Xbox language to all my real Xbox fans out there. We talk different, right? Look how Microsoft is talking to us. They're getting cloud service ready, right? I just was on Halo Infinite with my homeboy Sammy, who's a beast on Infinite, right? We went over there to check out Master Chief Collection. We wanted to celebrate some 20th anniversary, so we wanted to give some homage to it, right? Why did I find out that I didn't even realize that the Master Chief Collection was in cloud? So guess what I did? I went over there and hit it. Didn't take long, bro. I was playing Master Chief Collection, and I was blown out of my mind because I know how big that game is and how smooth that game was playing on the cloud lets me know that the cloud is the future. So when they get this app, that xCloud is going to be running on that app. Soon, your library will be ran from the cloud. So you ain't got to worry about nothing. Just go through the games you bought. Just flip through there. Okay, hit it. Boop. Cloud gaming. Cloud gaming. That's the future. That's the future. And listen, let me tell you something. These big consoles, that ain't the future. Microsoft just told you we can get it smaller. We put the S out there. The S, listen, man, the S could be just as powerful as the X. But why would they do that right now? They want you to believe. They want you to believe. You can't even make a PC. You can't even go out here and build a PC small like that daggum S. So guess what they're going to make? They're going to make portable consoles soon. Because if they make that S any more smaller and they just make it more powerful, once that S becomes a 4K entity, it's a wrap. You can take it where you want to take it, plug it in wherever you want to plug it, and play your games. And it's not in the way, small, powerful. You got a modem screen. Don't worry. You got an Xbox app. You got Windows. See, you got Windows. Don't worry. Xbox app gonna be right there. So just open it up, play your games right there on that monitor. You ain't got to take nothing with you. Microsoft is light years ahead of the game, man. We don't think VHS thinking. We don't think Betamax thinking. We're past all that. We grew up. Y'all don't have to grow up. Y'all can stay stuck in those console cell wars. See, the console cell wars, it was cool. It's not cool anymore. You know, I understand 1,000% what the realist said. I love that. I love talking competitive talk. Only when it makes sense, right? Only when we talked about things when it mattered. When we're bringing up Sony versus Nintendo, it made sense. When we were talking about Nintendo versus Sony, it made sense. When we talked about the first 3-4 generations between Sony and Xbox, it made sense. Now in 2021, it is about to be 2022. Don't make sense no more, bro. We're not in 1980. We're not in the 1990s no more, man. We're not even in the early 2Ks anymore. Things have changed. And it damn sure changed with Microsoft. Nobody can doubt that. Microsoft changed the game with Xbox. They're the ones who flipped the script on everybody. Like I said, they shook the industry up. The industry got shook when the Xbox One X was created. Don't ever forget that bad boy. When that bad boy came out last gen in 4K, 30 frames per second, that with some games can hit 60, shook the whole industry up. And Microsoft said, you know what, man? We just did this for fun. We just let you know what the Jaguar chip could really do. You see that language of Microsoft said? Give us that daggum Jaguar motherboard. Let me show you what we do with that. Sony over here barely giving you 1080p native out of that thing. And here comes Microsoft using the old spec, the old tech, and they made 4K out of the old tech. So you sit up here telling me, I called it back then. I said, damn, they made 4K out of the Jaguar. Imagine what they're going to do with the new tech. And here we are. We ain't even, what's tech for cloud, realist? Tell me. What's the specs for cloud? Boss, tell me.
There are none.
What's the specs for cloud?
There are none.
It don't matter.
No specs for that. So see, you see how Microsoft talks for us? That's why I told y'all, stop wasting your time with these idiots, man, in game. They're mad because you're gaming. That's what it is. It ain't about you being an Xbox fan.
That's all it is. All it is because man, I spoke on this the first time you had me on.
They wanted you trapped in their narratives and their insecurity. It felt good to them when you would be butthurt over their insecurity. See, you being butthurt.
It's distraction and redirection. That's all it is. Redirecting your attention away from your games.
Fact.
That's all.
But here's the medicine side of it. Because this is serious, man. They really got a serious condition over there. You being butthurt over their foolishness was medicine to them. Made them feel what that did was give them this reaction of it's okay how I feel. That's cool. I'm okay. As long as they get mad at my silliness, I'm not really happy over here. But you know what? It hides my unhappiness. Because yeah, I'm really bored. I'm tired of playing the same old games. I'm tired of walking around. But you know what? I can't let them know that.
Twitter.
Right. I can't let them know that. Oh, no, I can't let them know that. So what I got to do is make them feel bad. Oh, where's your exclusives? Oh, you ain't got no games. You ain't native 4K. At the same time, they wasn't. Oh, they talking about we didn't have no games. They didn't either. Well, only difference was Sony made you wait and bundled up your waitness and then threw your games out. Microsoft just didn't put the games out. That's the only difference. Microsoft was like, well, you know what? We'll stick to when we put games out. They would give us 1 game, 2 games a year. So y'all was always being like, where are your games at? Well, it's always in the fall and the winter. That's how we would react to y'all. But with Sony, they would delay a game. Well, it ain't even coming out this year. They would another game come. They delay it, and then the last 2 years, all the games came out, made it look like Sony got all these games. Who y'all fooling, man? See, I told y'all I was gonna hit that brick wall soon because games take time. Rome wasn't created in 3 days. So when PlayStation started yapping their mouth after Bloomberg reported early, and me and Tech gave y'all that business, y'all didn't want to believe us. So when I told Tech, yo, just chill out, watch this release come out. And when we saw those games, and then Microsoft was like, yo, we got the dev kit out late, sorry. That was intentional. Microsoft didn't have to do that. They did it intentional. Because they knew Sony was going to hit that brick wall. They knew, Jim, you better retract because you have 114 million consoles out here. We know you want to promote that 5, but you're just not going to have enough 5s out here. We seen what was going on. We had the meeting. Don't y'all forget. But when the pandemic hit, they had a meeting. Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer talked. Phil Spencer told us about it. And they talked about how they were going to deal with this pandemic. So let's not act like They didn't talk about this stuff before the release. They knew what they were going into. But you see who had a bigger vision. You see who had a better vision on how they were going to handle it. Microsoft gave us Gears Tactics, gave us the medium. You laughed, right? Gave us Assassin's Creed Valhalla at 60 frames per second when you thought it wasn't. And then it come out 60 frames per second on your console. You was cool with that. But I'm the one that told everybody it was when everybody was suspecting it. I got a little word from a let's just say from a bird on a limb that it was going to be 60 frame early. That's how I knew. That's why I came out with such confidence. Somebody told me. So I knew it. That's why I had fun with y'all for a little bit. You know? Then when it came out, everybody wanted to accept it. They had all of that. They were the ones that were pushing it. They were the ones that was marketing 60 frames per second as the standard. Sony wasn't saying that because 60 frames per second ain't never been the standard over there. What are they going to do? 60 frames per second, God of War, and y'all you doing is walking around. Senseless. That's senseless. Why would they make the medium a 60 frames per second game? Senseless. You're walking around. You're solving puzzles and stuff. You're unlocking rooms and the dual reality. That ain't no cause for 60 frames. So they put that in the artistic value. They took the 60 frames per second and put it into the artistic value of that game. Y'all made fun of the medium, but now y'all got the medium. Y'all ain't making fun of it anymore. What happened? See how that works?
They ain't even been playing it.
Y'all ain't even played the game, right? We gave you Deathloop. Where's those clips at Deathloop? Deathloop too hard for y'all? What's up? We don't see y'all doing that.
Gave y'all Death's Door.
See what we're doing? We're over here being generous because y'all ain't got no games. We're sitting here
I haven't heard a single one of them say anything about Psychonauts 2.
None.
Why would they talk about a Microsoft game?
Yeah, first of all, why would they do that? But then he's right. We ain't heard them talk about it. They ain't played it. I got to get to playing it. I started it, but I ain't finished it. I got to because I put it on hold. It's not a rush game for me. But I want to play it.
Don't feel bad. I feel bad. I got to get to it too.
Yeah, but what happened to Deathloop? You see what I'm saying? All these games that y'all got, y'all ain't even playing them.
I mean, in all fairness, man, everybody, a lot of people slept on Dishonored too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't even really know what to do with that game except for run through it. That game is more about learning the abilities and having fun with the freedom that you have with that character. Like I listen to or watch a lot of people complain about, that game. It's not just about running through it in the loop, and it's about exploring and being creative. And a lot of people don't know how to create their own fun. Once you're used to a company putting you on a set path and telling you what to do, you don't know how to be creative and think outside the box. But that's what that game is about. You have to watch somebody who really knows how to play it to see that it's not just about running through the game and finishing it. It's about using those abilities and being creative and trying new things, not just running through it. But they don't know what to do with that, man. And plus, it's a Microsoft game. But again, a lot of people didn't jump on board with Dishonored, and it's the same type of game. I see some of the same abilities.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Listen, it's been a wonderful night, everybody. Wonderful night. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And if you are around, like my man Ashtray Gaming, if you him, then it's already a tomorrow, and I hope that your Saturday is blessed. Shout out to the Chit Chat Room. Thank y'all for always supporting us, man, over here in Di-RRec Gaming. Yo, we do this for fun. Remember, subscribe to the channel, man. Hit that like button. Get us a like. You know what, man? If we get 100 likes, I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. Forget it, man. I'm in the mood. So let's celebrate. Yo, check this out. Let's celebrate Xbox 20th anniversary on this show. We get 100 likes, giveaway. I'm hitting up Echo X, man, because I like the way he does it, how he presents it, and he does the wheel. So we'll get all that hyped up, man. If we get 100 likes tonight, let's get that popping, man. And let's get some giveaways. Let's what the course or something? Let's do a course giveaway or something, man. Let's do something next week when we find some winners. Y'all want to do that? So
Give away 3
let's
months of Game Pass,
y'all.
man. Isn't chorus in Game Pass?
No, man.
It's not.
No, man. It's not a Game Pass, bro.
Yeah, that's.
Man. I mean,
yeah,
it was on the indie showcase, and they said those games would be in Game Pass, but
it might later down the road, but it's not right now.
Yeah, they might. I think they might have changed their mind at the last time, which I was telling one person that it's a bit odd because you're talking about a game that has never been heard of from nobody. It's a new IP from a developer that they're established mainly in the mobile gaming space, and their games have only been like ported to like the Switch. So they're very unknown, and
Yeah,
being
that's
on
true.
Game Pass.
That's true. They said that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, being on Game Pass would have helped. Yeah, it would have helped. Yeah,
Right.
it would have helped their numbers, their engagement numbers tremendously, and carried it a bit more further. But yeah, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, it's.
I know it would have helped me engage with it.
Look, put the word out.
I got too many other games to play.
Put the word out. Put the word out. We get 100 likes. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. 100 likes, giveaway. Spread the word tonight, man. Look, I just feel like, listen, man, it's the 20th anniversary. It's Christmas time. It's December. Some places it's cold. It's not going to be cold in Texas. So I'm feeling good, realist. We got that 70, upper 70s, high 60 weather here, man. It's all beautiful right now in December there. So I'm feeling like doing something, man. We gotta give back. We gotta give back, man. So look, 100 likes, course to give away. We put the names in there. Top 3, we spin it. We get a winner. Course in your hands. And I hope you love it, man. I hope you like it. Let's do it. 100 likes, man. Y'all heard it right here on Di-RRec Gaming. Spread the word. Look, man, we feel like doing something special. That's the bottom line. Hey, it's my way of saying thanks to everybody that's always continually showing us support, man. Shout out to my man, the realest one. Shout out to my man, Fireboss, for coming out tonight. And shout out to the Mighty Chit Chat Room for banging it in here with us, man. Getting on stage with us, man. And letting us perform with y'all. Great panel. Great audience, man. Look, we're all together. We all formed this thing called Xbox. Beautiful community, man. I love representing the green team. I love it, man. I love looking at man. It's beautiful in Cali right now. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Yo, everybody out here, man, y'all looking beautiful out here, man. Keep playing those Xbox games. Keep showing everybody that y'all are having fun. Keep that positive energy, man. When you see that dumb stuff, call it out. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. And man, look, y'all, it's time to celebrate. So y'all know what I'm about to say, man. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Always keep it gaming. Chase that one up in life. And this is the new legal representing Di-RRec Gaming. Eli, the realest, one, Fireboss. I got my spaceship. It's ready to go, man. I'm finna come scoop y'all up, man. Let's go to Bermuda, man, and let's go get some Xbox Series X's, man. See if we can play them out there in Bermuda. Let's link up, man. Hey, don't worry about it. I got food on the spaceship. Got drinks on the food on the spaceship, man. Y'all are good. Got some nice recliners. Got some TV.
Got Orange Crush.
Y'all ain't got to worry about anything.
You got the Orange Crush. There's no deal.
We got it. Don't worry about it. We can go. And if I don't have it, man, we can get to that store like 1 second, bro. My spaceship.
Yeah, you got that Fanta.
Yeah, it goes real fast. Real fast. So don't even worry about it. Yo, Cyber Gun, that's what I'm talking about. I'm playing Quantum Break. Yo, Quantum Break is another one, man. We need a sequel to it, man. Let's get a sequel for QB. Because the QB don't stand for no quarterback. Yo, I'm out of here. Thanks to everybody that showed up, man. Have a good weekend and have a good night or a good day or a good evening, wherever you at. Peace.
Later. Still running.